Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing today? Um, Today I wanted to talk about a little bit of my journey and why I prefer healing versus just miracles. Okay, because like I said before, we all receive miracles every single day, and a lot of times we don't even realize them to even be miracles. And when we do, a lot of times we call it luck. We will just say, "Oh, I was so lucky to get." It has nothing to do with luck. This is God's miracles, His blessings for you, and it usually happens instantly. A lot of times it will happen instantly, and we don't think too much. We're grateful in the moment, like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't go down that road, or I'm glad this happened for me, or I'm glad that my testing date was delayed because I need to study a little bit more. These are blessings, miracles from God, but a lot of times we will say that it's just luck, and we don't really learn anything from uh, instant, quick miracle blessings. And I say that because we lose we lose our blessings all the time. Um, Miracles versus healing. Healing is a process. It's a long process, and it's painful. The journey, you want to be out of it. It causes you to be anxious, and for a while, and it's hard to sit in heat like that. It's really hard, and then you don't understand it. It logically doesn't make sense. Healing, um it doesn't feel good in the moments. It does not feel good, and some people are going through this from childhood, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people say that they don't even believe in God, just because they're like, how the logical mind is thinking is, they're like, how can I be a good person? I was just a child and this awful thing happened to me, or these awful things happened my entire childhood into my adulthood, and by the time they're adults, they're like, I just don't even believe in God. And I know some people call me passive for saying that I can understand how a person can come from that place, because this is how we're thinking. This is our conditioned thinking. We never think back to the stories of um, any of the prophets and all of the hardships that they had to go through. A lot of the times, I shouldn't say we never, a lot of the times we never think back to the hardships that some of them had to go through, even from childhood. So, and we think that this is not supposed to be happening to us, but in fact, God promises this to us, that He's going to test us in our lives, especially you say you love Him, and that you are a slave slash servant of God. Um, the healing process is very painful, and God's so perfect in causing you that kind of pain, just because He knows exactly who to send you that pain through. Because, like I already said before, if you people that you are not related to, or that you don't know, are trying to cause you delays, hardships, just whatever it is, you will just brush it off. But when it's your family members that are the ones doing you wrong, doing you dirty, just making sure they are holding you up or stopping you in any way possible, they are doing this, but they're smiling in your face, and they're telling other people that they're helping you, and of course that's what it looks like from the outside. So that is a painful process that some people have to go through. um, but with healing, God gives you such a character that whatever I've said this so many times before, whatever He is giving you to be in charge of, whatever blessing, whatever He is going to give to you, you will be able to sustain that blessing, because you went through the healing and it changed your character. There are certain things that I would never in my life allow to happen, that before I just would have just said okay and just moved to the next thing, because how I saw myself, that I wasn't really worth it, or that is the process of that company. And I'll just give you an example. Um, one time I applied to something, and the lady told me my application came back denied, and she just sent it through email, like that was it. And so when I emailed her back, like, why was it denied, and this is more recently, I'll say within the past 2 years, um, when I emailed her back, like, why was my application denied, like, at least tell me a reason. If there was like something that I didn't know, maybe a policy that I didn't know about, I don't know, at least let me know why was it denied. Years ago, I would have never pressed this issue. I just would have just taken it like, oh, okay, I don't know why it was denied, but it was denied. But no, not now. Why was this denied? I need a reason. Um, so she wasn't responding to my emails, and she wasn't responding to my calls. I showed up at her office. I didn't know if she was going to be there or not. I just drove there. And she was not actually in her office. She walked up on me as I was knocking on her door. And she's like, oh, hi. So she invites me to her office and we get to talking about it. She pulls up my application and she's like, oh, I didn't submit all of the information that you gave me, so I'm just going to have to resubmit this and it'll take about another week or two. She resubmits all the information while I'm sitting there in front of her, and she's just talking and smiling just as though she didn't know that she was doing me wrong. And for whatever reason, I don't know, she didn't feel like it that day, or she feels like she didn't want me to have whatever it was that I was applying for. So she resubmits the information. A week later, she emailed me back saying that my application was approved. Um, that is something that God put in me after the healing. Healing comes in many forms. It comes in a form of physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. God can heal us full circle, anywhere we need it. A lot of times, physical healing, emotional healing turns into physical pain where you need physical healing. Like, it's all tied into one another, and He's a restorer. He will restore us more than we could ever imagine. So that's why a lot of times I lean more towards and I push healing. Go through the process. It feels terrible. It feels terrible, but we have to remember what Joseph went through, right? We're all familiar with the story of Joseph. He did not feel good sitting in a jail cell, especially his family put him in there. Some of our family members have put us in, so to speak, a jail cell. Now, maybe not an actual one, but put us in places where we're like, oh my goodness, like, how could my family do this to me, right? But a lot of times we will say we are Muslims, we will say we are Christians, we will say we are from whatever faith, but we never actually think back and truly submerge or submit ourselves into what we know, our history. People go through these things. We just want to instantly be out of it, and we want to be out of it instantly because it's so painful, because of how it looks. You're doing all the right things, but all of the wrong things are still happening, and it is causing you some kinds of trauma. And I say trauma because some of us will push through a certain thing. We're not giving up, right? And then the wrong things are still happening, and then we're just like, you know what, God, like, how we're feeling, we're like, I know you see me making an effort, and you're still not allowing this to go through. You're still not allowing me to have this or that. What he needs to do is build there's a process. You have to go through it. There's a process to everything. We have to go through it, and that heat does not feel good. But when you come out, there are no words. But when you get on the other side of all of that hurt, that pain, that test, that trial, and this is coming from a person who's from experience. Like, you're not angry. You're not angry while you're in it. You just don't want to be in it because it's hurtful, it's painful. And then you're the kind of person who you don't even want other people to go through hurt and pain. You definitely don't want yourself to have to go through that. So yeah, like I said, sometimes it can cause a little bit of psychological damage just because you're like, how am I doing all the right things for so long, but still you don't see anything happening? The wait is worth it. The wait is worth it. I don't want to make this video too long. One day, I think if my channel ever really expands to a good amount of people who are actually watching my channel, I might do a live, because I feel like I would be better on a live because I'm talkative, right? But a lot of times when I hit record on this phone, what I wanted to actually say kind of leaves my mind, because I'm not talking to a live audience right now. I have to allow this video to go through the processing, and then get in the mode where it's ready to be watched. And I'm like, I should have said this, I should have said that, maybe I should have elaborated more on this or elaborated more on that. But I feel like once my channel grows, then I will start doing lives. Because I could go on forever talking about this. I'm so grateful for the healing that I've had to go through, although none of it was easy. Not even on my children. I used to cry like years ago, like, God, like, at least put some of their hurt more on me. I'll be able to stand it. I don't understand what's going on, but I want to take some of their pain away from them, because they had to go through a very extremely hard they went through a lot. They went through a lot, like a lot of kids go through a lot. We can only hope that they don't fall off and feel defeated or act like they're defeated, because you can feel defeated. There's been many times I've felt so defeated just with all the answers being no. And then eventually I started to pray differently. I started to pray expecting the things that I was praying for, and then I got more confidence through my prayer. Like, I know this is going to happen for me, because I just couldn't sit stagnant for years like that, with me working and working and working 2 jobs. We're just the madness of it all, hardly seeing my kids, trying to prepare something for them to eat for when they got home, just the madness. Just anyways, that's why miracles are really good, but we really don't learn anything from like those really quick miracle blessings, because we'll just chalk it up to, oh, that was just luck, or we really don't think much of it just because it came through so seamlessly and so quickly for us. A lot of times, most people don't want to go through the healing process because it's hard to understand and it's extremely painful, but it's well worth it in the end. So I hope you were able to learn something from this video today. But yeah, my process was not easy. My process is still not even over, but like I've said in my other videos, God gives you the grace to go through certain things, and once you start looking at him in a way like, I know that you have this for me, and if you don't, I know you have something better for me, and then just start thanking him just for everything you can think of. You'll never be able to thank him for every blessing. You don't even know every single blessing you have, but thanking him for the ones that you do realize you have, that helps tremendously. And so I'm going to end this video here. If I have any more ideas that may come across my mind, I will drop another video, God willing. You guys take care, and remember to worship the Creator and not his creation. His creation's amazing, right? But we always want to give all of the praise and thanks and glory, and we want to give that to the creator of the universe. It's kind of like pouring acid on a person when they hear that, because they want to give praise and thanks to every single thing else, because it keeps them in a safe place. And most people turn their nose up to worshiping and giving God all of the praise, all of the glory. People turn their nose up to that nowadays, because why? I don't know. It's the way of the world, evil. So I'm gonna end the video here for real. Take care. I'll talk to you later.